All right. Okay, guys. Yeah. So you're all discussing. You've literally recently just fed egg 3 birds' eggs that are yay big, about the size of your thumb, and 2 small quail-sized birds, which you cooked, and he wolfed down ravenously. Um, but already that food is being totally and utterly dissolved and cannibalized by his incredible fast-growing metabolism. So yeah, you were discussing your options. What do you want to do?
Uh, so we need Ned to sleep as much as possible, as to avoid burning as much
Right.
energy as he can. And if we could, I don't know, Josh, you're probably most suited for carrying child.
Yeah, because throw him on my back or maybe just carry my arms, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good. And then
Alright.
I guess keep moving, foraging as we move. Try and get to a place where we can find something for him.
Alright.
Pretty much take this area dry.
He is kind of like slumped down on the ground right now, like sitting there. His head is dropped, his shoulders are slumped.
I have a question. How far is that barbarian camp?
Well, considering you kind of... You know that when you first met them, you heard the drums within a couple of hours. So you know at that point you were pretty close, because they obviously got back to the camp within 2 hours. You initially went a day south, and, well, half a day south, and they, within a few hours, came and found you. At which point you then went back north a whole day, and then along. So their best guess is if you would go kind of directly south from here, it can't be that far away.
That might be our best bet.
Do you think we can maybe have Jerisha take a look, or somebody can sneak and try to steal some food from them? Do you think they have food if they're trying to eat us?
They have a tribe that has enough energy to chase after us. I think they have enough
And
food.
none of them looked malnutrition. They were some big, burly-looking savages. So whatever
Well,
it is
maybe-
that they're eating, it's doing the job.
Maybe we're just like a dessert, you know? They have a lot of food and we're just kind of, you know, the finishing off part.
That's disgusting!
I'm just being honest. My point being is they might actually have some food that we could eat. And hopefully not just a bunch of limbs strewn around the camp everywhere.
So we could either try to sneak and steal food, which I don't like stealing, or we could give ourselves up and maybe they'll feed us.
Fizzle.
So that they can eat us.
Ned,
Yeah.
stop it.
Well,
Don't
maybe they
speak.
want to fatten us up first.
And Ned basically
Ah, shit.
falls forward and lands flat in the dirt.
I thought we
Alright,
put
I
him
got
to
him,
sleep.
I got him. I'll walk over to Ned and pick him up and just kind of throw him over my shoulder.
Didn't we put him to sleep?
You'd kind of hypnotized him and stuff to get him to go to sleep, so apparently it has worked.
Okay. What's this little asshole still doing awake?
He's being a child. That's what children do. They do the opposite of whatever you want them to do, no matter what spell you put on
Like,
them.
you don't want him to starve? He's gonna starve. That's what they do.
Yeah. You don't want them to eat something poisonous? What
He's
is
only
that?
doing
Oh,
it
it's
to
red. It's
spite
little.
you.
Mm-hmm.
He's deliberately increased his metabolism just out of spite.
Well,
So,
It's an option, anyway. It's not safe. A safe option, but I don't
sneaking
know
up
how
there.
much foraging we can keep doing.
Yeah, if we could manage to sneak into their camp and grab some food, it could save some lives here. The problem being we're still very much in their territory, and if they notice anything gone, they'll probably start hunting for it again. It's not a bad idea. It's a horribly stupid idea, but it's not a bad.
To the camp. Even though I'm a big guy, deceptively sneaky.
Are
Just
you?
Throwing that out. Yeah. I like to play a game when I was a kid.
Yeah. You're breaking up.
On the back of the head.
It's the starvation. He's losing his voice.
Oh, can you repeat that story?
It sounded awesome.
Yeah, something
yeah,
like the
I
back
was
of
just-
the head.
Yeah, I was just saying I used to play a game when I was a kid. I would sneak around to people, get up behind them, and then just bash them on the back of the head.
Oh my
Just
god.
to see if I could do it.
Could you do it?
Oh, most definitely more often than not I could do it, yeah. And even if they turned around and saw me, I'd still bash them on the head. So I won either way.
You say violent sometimes, Josh. I don't understand.
Oh, speaking of which, let me do
Seemed
the.
like you got a good heart in there, that's why.
Let me go ahead and swap
It's
over.
working.
I wouldn't kill the people, just, just a little rap on the head.
Well, what do you guys think if we got close to the camp and then decide then if it's better to sneak in and steal it or just give ourselves up? Because maybe we could get out somehow, just like... Maybe they're like the elves.
Right, I'm just giving you guys all
They
control
seemed
over
quite
Dallas.
intent on killing us just last
I
night.
know. I don't know what to do.
That's... Which, I mean, the elves, we had a similar reception.
They might also give us a chance to see if Cece's there, being eaten.
Yeah, that's a point.
I don't want to think about it.
Is it... So are we on a consensus here? Are we doing this?
Rush?
Guess we don't really have a choice.
I want to keep him alive, maybe not.
Yeah, if we don't find this kid some food, he ain't gonna make it.
What do you think, Dallas? Okay, sounds good. I have noodle arms, I can't make decisions.
You sound exactly like you always do, Dallas. Just want to throw that out there.
You missed one little thing in there. It's
I'm gonna say something. Alright.
Alright, so is that what you want to do? You guys want to venture down that way?
Can we, as we go, can we dig for worms? Feed them to him?
Yeah, I mean,
You can
keep an eye-
try, but I mean, you're going to have to wake him up to do it. Do you want to do that? Do you think a worm is going to be more nutritious than the energy that you might conserve by him sleeping?
I mean, I can pop open a jar and we can just anything we pick up on the way, but
And then give him to him should he wake up? Yeah, there you
should
go.
he wake
He
up?
metabolizes like a fucking. I can't think of an analogy for this part right here. So maybe we could give him stuff that you don't normally eat, and he would metabolize it.
When you're starving, you don't really care what you're eating, so
Eat
Let's
this.
feed him dirt.
Feed him dead!
All kids should eat a
Change
handful
of
of
plans.
dirt every great once in a while, right?
yeah.
Help them.
Just as long as you chase it with some apple cider vinegar, your system will be clean.
All right, okay. Yeah. So which
so yeah,
direction you want to go?
heading-
Show me. Head that way.
South, right?
South, you said it was?
I'm gonna.
I mean, south-ish.
scan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
gonna
So
scan.
I'm putting Ned on your shoulder because you're
Okay.
carrying the Ned.
Yep.
All right. Daleth moves in. I mean, again, you guys are all hungry, but you're not like near death hungry. So
Quite certain there's no squirrel in that tree trunk.
Alright, down southward we go.
all right. So you're heading down in that direction. All right.
Yep.
Any particular? I mean, are you just keeping your normal marching order, or are you doing anything different?
While Josh has a net on him, I'm probably going to want to be in front just to make
Okay.
sure
Go
that
ahead
things
and
are okay.
push yourself to the front then.
Okay.
And that will turn you around. All right, so who's going behind Jash? Marigold or Rush?
I call behind Marigold.
Always.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah. And
What's
then
that
that'll go
badonkadonk?
through.
Okay.
I guess
All right.
it's not that far south, right? So we could be a little.
Shouldn't be too far south. I mean, it's good. Obviously, it's a few
No,
hours.
it's about eye
but-
level.
You notice Rush is walking like this. He can't help himself. He's just walking in rhythm. All right. Okay. So you guys continue to head southwards. Let's see. What I might have to do here is just make a quick alteration to accommodate for you guys.
Because we totally botched your encounter.
No, not at all. I just had you on the next screen. I had you kind of moved. I wasn't sure whether you were going south or east, so I've just moved you to be eastwards. All right. As you guys are heading that direction, you can hear a bit of a weird sound. It sounds kind of like this.
What?
Where is that coming from?
Water?
Right. As you approach,
A spring or something?
you can see what appears to be the first thing you see.
Damn.
Is and you're supposed to be in front, so let me.
Oh my
move.
god.
You see what appears to be a couple
A really-
of slaughtered lizard-looking creatures. They're kind of like covered in scales, webs. They'd be typical humanoids, probably your guess, to be 6.5 to 7 feet tall. There's 2 of them that are dead, directly in front of you. Then you notice over to the left, there appears to be a female tribeswoman who is half laying in what appears to be some kind of huge big bog. Which is obviously is what's responsible for the bubbling. There's a trail of blood that's kind of strewn over from where she is to where she started, as if she's crawled to get there. It's then that you notice in the bog itself, with just his shoulders and head,
God.
appears to be another tribesman in the bog, holding on for dear life to what appears to be a branch from a tree. Every time he tries to kind of like move his arm up, you notice he sinks a little bit, and he definitely looks like he's in the process of slowly sinking down below the murky gloop.
Guys, this is our in. We
Yeah.
can sever our diplomatic issues.
I think I'd start running up very quickly.
Yeah.
Oh my god, are you okay? Are you okay?
It's when you hear a gunshot and Shaggy just shot the guy.
Got him.
Okay, so you're going to run over there?
He moved.
Yeah.
All right. So you can see the woman in her left hand. Although the left hand is like hanging into the bog, you can see that it actually does have what appears to be a branch in it.
Okay. And she's dead?
She's not moving, but I mean, if you want to check to see, you
Check
can
her
make a heal check.
pulse
Okay.
and do it slowly.
Yeah, I'm gonna go up.
I mean, have you seen what she's packing there? It's
I'm gonna do a heal check.
under all the blood, I
All
guess.
right, yeah,
Just-
go ahead.
And,
give me a heal check.
and then as I do that, I'm gonna yell to the others, help the other one!
Right, the other
Right.
one at this point has like turned. He's looking over his shoulder and seems to be in a bit of a panic. Whoop whoop!
Oh, 20!
Nice.
Natural 20!
Let's start our first roll of the game. Miss
We did it.
Ivana with the 20 right out the gate. If you bet on Jane, which was actually a few more of you than... There you go. All of you guys got golds. Nice roll on the 20. Okay. She has an incredibly faint pulse. At first glance, you'd have assumed that she's dead. She's lost a lot of blood. So this, with that dice roll, you can ascertain that this battle probably happened 20 minutes ago, maybe, possibly even 30. She has in her side an incredibly deep, piercing wound, which you guess was from one of the spears from the spearmen. The lizard men, but
Ooh,
she
save her,
is
Jane.
just alive.
Okay. I do a light, cure light on her.
All right.
But does someone else want to go? I guess that.
Yeah,
All right.
no,
So you're going to do a
I'm-
cure light wounds on her. Okay. Right, as you're going around, you notice that it's very damp and gooey around here. 12. Okay, that will actually bring her back to a level of consciousness. Good job with that. Okay, so yeah, Physic, as you're kind of walking around the edge, your left boot quite often seems to start sinking inordinately quickly.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to not step near that.
Right, so you're going to kind of make a little bit of a wider path around? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, what about everybody else? What do you want to do with the unconscious Ned?
Yeah, he's on me right now.
I'm in the swamp. Probably.
Yeah, throw in the swamp. No, I'm gonna follow Physic over there, still with him, because I don't want to drop him here and then leave him. I kind of want to be close to him, so.
All right. Okay.
I'll pretty much start following his exact path if he makes it safe to kind of get over in that area.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, you're noticing you actually have to go a little bit wider than Physic because
I
first of all,
figured.
you're incredibly big, incredibly heavy, and you're carrying a 6-year-old boy plus armor, whereas
Okay.
Physic is a little teeny tiny gnomish fellow.
Yeah, I'd make it as far as I had to go around, and as close as I could get without feeling like I was going to sink in, not be able to move at that point.
So you're probably taking this much more of a wider path around.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So Physic is on his way around. Jash is following suit, carrying Ned over his shoulder.
Yep.
For argument's sake, Daleth is over here,
yeah.
crouched down behind a log with his Sidorian long rifle, watching the tree line in case anything should approach in true military fashion. Okay, so the woman that you have just healed comes round. She kind of like looks up in kind of like surprise, and then instinctively her hand goes to her side like she remembers the wound. And of course, she still has a nasty gash there, but it is nowhere near as deep and as mortal as it once was. She kind of looks up at you and she says, "Who are you?"
Don't overdo it. You're still pretty hurt.
Just calm down. We're just passing through. Are you okay? You feeling okay?
"Oh, Adir! Adir!" As she kind
Right,
of
we'll
winces
get
in
him.
pain as she says it, and she's pointing with the stick still in her hand at her friend that is now... His head is out of the thing, but he's having to lean back to kind of keep above. And his arms are kind of poised up, so he's
Don't worry,
only...
we'll rescue your husband? Boyfriend?
What is he to you?
Let's figure
Let's
this
talk
out real
romance.
quick.
It all depends if we save.
Right, okay. Physic then. So you've got round to... Now the good news is where the tree is, of course, you can hang on to the tree.
Yeah.
The tree is slightly leant kind of towards the swamp. Obviously, where the roots are, it's so soft there, and the weight of the branches, it's kind of like taking a slight angle. But you feel fairly sure that it's solid enough to hold your weight at the very least.
Okay.
The branch that he's hanging on to, basically it looks like a broken branch. The branch is kind of split, and he's hanging on to it, but you're noticing slowly but surely the split is getting wider and wider, and as it's doing so, his part is getting thinner and thinner, and it looks like it's only a matter of time here before it's going to snap off.
I'm gonna scramble up the tree and whip out my climbing rope and with the grappling hook on it and just hook it on the tree, toss him the line.
Okay, so you're going to use the grappling hook, tie it around the tree, and then throw him the other end?
Yeah, so that it's grappled to the tree and he gets a rope to grab onto instead of a breaking branch.
Give me a give me a rope use skill.
Yeah, rope use.
That's one of those skills that we actually have.
That's one of those
that you can
skills.
use.
Yeah, I love this system.
One of those skills that
Let me,
druid would totally have.
Use rope. That starts with a U, which makes it at the very bottom. Yeah,
You're getting good at that, Satch.
I know.
Nice.
I've learned my alphabet.
Your ABCs?
It was part of the interview process. Like, all right,
Yeah.
let's start with the ABCs.
He's learning
U
all kinds
far
of
can you
things.
get?
T.
He got all the way
All
to
right.
you.
Well, with
Not bad.
you kind of like get hold of the rope, and then with precision, You throw it directly to where his hands are. Still holding on to the stick with one hand, he grabs the rope and wraps it around his hand. As he does so, the movement snaps the stick, and you suddenly notice him like, and he begins to sink.
He's pull himself up the rope.
You suddenly see the second arm like throw itself out and grab the rope, and with sheer brute force and strength, slowly he starts to pull and tear at the rope as you begin to see his head re-emerge, and then his shoulders, and eventually he kind of like collapses exhausted at the base of the tree. By this time, Jash, you would have been able to get over to here as well.
Okay.
If you wanted to like reach over and grab him and help him to the bank, you can do so. All right. The girl sort of breathes a sigh of relief as she kind of like collapses back down, and then she just rolls over to where she's laying on her back instead of on her side and face down in the mud.
So Virgo? No. I'm not gonna.
She kind of looks up at you and she says, "Thank you for whatever tribe you are from. I thank you." Clearly, she's also physically exhausted.
It's no problem. Would you take us back to your tribe for rest? We are quite tired and hungry.
Yes, if you could help me up.
Of course. And as I help her up, I'm just going to cast another Cure Light
Okay.
on her.
With Trifurion's good graces,
Oh.
healed another 7.
Not that good
It's not bad.
graces.
It's enough. It's definitely enough to where she is able to now walk and travel by herself.
Are you from the tribe just south of here?
She kind of looks at you inquisitively and she says, Our tribe is south. We are a Gashi. What
Gashi?
tribe
That
are
token
you
to be a
from?
little big.
No tribe. We are from far to the west in the mountains.
You see her kind of walk over and rummage around, and then you see her pick up what appears to be kind of like some form of wooden and hide shield. And then she kind of comes back to where you are. So looking at her, she has got bright red makeup on her forehead and like black and white lines, kind of like war makeup of some sort. She has a very crude looking sword, which is made of bone. It almost looks like a huge big bone blade. Clearly whatever bone that was a very large animal, and they have painstakingly shaped it down to make some form of blade. And then she's got the hide shield, and kind of like poking through the hide shield seem to be some kind of horns that have also been painted. So all of her gear looks like it is made from either wood or hide, but has been very well crafted into reasonably modern style of weaponry.
Cool.
Alright, the big dude finally gets himself up onto his feet. He kind of looks up, seeing the tiny little Physic in the tree, and then he glances over at Jash, who has got a small child on his back.
Hello.
He reaches out an incredibly muddy and filthy arm and hand to kind of like shake your hand.
To me or Physic?
To you,
To me. All right.
because you're on the ground with him.
I'm not really.
I'd kind of give him a look, and then I'd extend my hand out to greet him.
All right, so he like grabs hold of your hand, like the
Yes.
forearm,
Yes.
and then as he pulls his hand
predator.
away, he leaves mud and crap all over your forearm.
Oh,
As
thank
he
you.
does so, he says, "Ukva,
Great.
Ukva of the Agashi."
How was that spelled?
Spelled.
Gesundheit.
I do not know this spelled.
I was out of character.
Okay, with that, he looks at Jash and he says, I thank you and your children for rescuing me.
Oh, no problem. Yes, they're quite a handy bunch when you
You're
need
really
them,
good
those
at
little
that.
scamps.
I'm just gonna scramble down the tree now.
Yeah, I'm gonna play along with them.
That is actually a pretty good topic or question. How old is Physic?
Physic is 40? Or
Okay,
60.
so
No,
he's
he's
not that-
60.
Okay.
Which
What?
is like gnome equivalent of like 30.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's
middle-aged.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
middle-aged.
he's a lot older
He's a
than
gentleman.
Rush.
Yeah, he's a gentleman.
Yeah, Rush is a
an older
kid
gentleman.
compared to him.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious. Okay.
All right. Okay. So, Ukvar moves his way around the swamp without giving you guys another second look, and then gets all the way around here and looks and he says, "Mara, are you well?" And she kind of looks down and she says, yes. This one appears to be a witch doctor or something. Now she kind of points at Marigold.
Not a witch doctor. I'm a priestess of Tritheron, and I'm going to point above in the sky.
You come from
He
the
blesses me.
stars.
Not
they-
me.
Yes.
He's
Yes. Show
regular.
me the stars.
Ukva, they wish to come with us to our tribe. Yes, I think this would be good.
Our
That's-
tribe has not eaten in many moons. No.
if we're being honest, we did run into your tribe a few days ago.
Oh, was it them?
I don't know.
Okay,
Yeah, no,
you
it was,
see him
it
kind
was.
of look at each other and he says, You are from the hunted tribe. You threw
No.
spears and fired arrows at our hunters. Is this you?
I don't think so.
Through spears?
I don't believe that
Yes.
happened.
These things you have. You had strange spears and bows. One of your bows,
Oh, the boomstick.
one of boomstick. We
Shiny
hear
hill.
of had great power and shouted like dragon and spewed fire and struck like heavy rock.
We didn't want to
Yes.
hurt anyone. We just didn't want to be eaten.
Eaten.
Is it true? Do you really eat people for dessert?
No, just dinner.
Agashi eats. And they kind of look, and you see the girl starts to kind of go and begins to grin a little bit and laugh. At which
So
point,
funny.
Ukvar
It really
leans back.
was a joke.
Oh man.
Agashi do not eat people.
Akashi are vegan.
It was such a funny joke. Oh, that was.
But no, yes. Mare is correct. You must come with us. You come with us to tribe.
We have a child, Ned. He's very sick. He needs food.
Are your other children well?
Wait, what?
The one
Yeah,
with the
the
red
kids.
hair and this one who threw me the rope.
I don't
know,
I'll
understand.
tell you, I am no child.
The children. Marigold, the kids. The
Ned,
kids.
there's no other children.
Never mind.
I,
They are then.
It's not where it counts. I have the youth and the exuberance of a child.
Then you have
Energy,
stunted growth.
stamina. What?
don't try and
Wait,
impress
what? No, I'm not stunted.
You are so small. Small and weak. How do
Where
you
it
survive?
counts, man.
How does nature not eat you?
It's hard work.
I see. It must be because you travel with such large companions that have boomstick. Yes.
That's part of it.
Well,
Yeah,
come.
they deprive us of all the nutrients we need.
We will lead you to our encampment. You follow.
Are you sure they won't kill us, Mara? They did want to kill us earlier.
She kind of just shrugs her shoulders and looks at you like,
Perfect.
What the what?
It's all right.
Master, thank you for the reciprocation. Very much
Thank
appreciate
you, Rock.
it. Take off your pants and hit the hype.
Ayo. Ayo.
All right. Okay.
There it is.
I'm gonna walk up beside the tribeswoman and be like, "I'm not a kid, you know."
I'm assuming that Ned is still on your shoulders.
Yeah.
Yes. I
You
just
didn't
moved so I
actually
could.
leave him over there by
No, I
himself.
didn't. Just like, he's fine.
As you see a small lizardy hand pull him down into the bog.
Needless to say, Daleth his gun is reloaded and primed.
Alrighty. So Ukvar, as he seems to be called, begins to lead you in this direction.
Okay.
And Mara seems to be kind of waiting for you all to go forward as if she's going to follow you behind.
Alright.
Will do.
Whisper to anybody near me in my party. I think this is a good idea.
I don't think we have much of another choice.
Before I start walking, I'm gonna kind of like look at her and be like, "So you have to look a little lower, but enjoy the view."
Okay. Well, he seems to travel southwest, not directly south. As you're traveling, you kind of notice numerous times he prods the ground to kind of check for solidity before making sure you're following him. And a couple of times he does turn and remind you, you stay behind Ukvar, do not stray. There are many sinkholes and quick pits that will eat you.
What were those lizard people? Dead ones.
Not like the Agashi. The quick pits will eat you.
The bogmen. They are the bogmen. They live in this vicinity. Foul, nasty creatures.
They evil.
Are they
Taste
edible?
good.
No, you must not eat them.
Oh.
They are a poison. They have a dangerous bite that can cause your skin to rot and fester like the dead. They are not for eating, but their eggs are delicious.
Duly noted.
Eggs.
Yes, they lay soft eggs, have like a thick leathery skin. If you get them when they are fresh, the insides can be boiled and they are delicious.
I'll eat just about any.
Me and Mara was seeking some of these eggs when they ambushed us. We of course slaughtered them, but not before one of them stuck Mara with a spear, and I slipped and fell into the bog. Mara tried to reach me out, but she grew weak and could not. I made close to the bank, but could not get any further as the sink pit was slowly sucking me down to eat me. And it was then that you thoughtfully come along and saved me. Ukvar is grateful for this.
Yeah, we are too.
Alrighty,
Truly.
okay.
Think about if we would have found those lizard people first and tried to eat one.
Oh,
Which you
Jeez.
probably sick bastards may have done. Alright.
of course we would
Absolutely, we
have.
would have done that.
Under the circumstances.
Well, Ned would have eaten it first.
I would have removed poison, but purified.
Alright, let me go ahead and change this a little bit. Let's see what's more appropriate here.
Ooh, how tribal.
It's almost like it's
Dun, 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 dun. Can I
to try.
place-
Yeah, get some tribal drums.
I've got some faint tribal drums. Yeah, I'm going to put them on. Sounds perfect. Actually, I'm just going to use this.
Oh, now I hear birds.
you
Fucking
go.
birds.
Alrighty. Okay, so you guys are all approaching from this side. They literally, as I said, they made a quick berth. What you've noticed is directly north of their encampment clearly is where a lot of the bog and marsh is. Give me a... Let's see. Daleth could possibly figure something out with this. So we're going to let somebody roll for Daleth. And let's see, what would he...
I think it should be Jane. Jane just rolled a 20.
Yeah.
There you
Well,
go.
that means I'm gonna roll a 1 next, guys.
Now you roll a
Yes, that's why.
15.
Right.
The odds of you rolling another 20.
Yeah, give me an intelligence roll for... Actually, no, wisdom roll for Daleth. Because it would be
Daleth?
more wisdom-based. I don't want your sheet. Let me get Daleth's up real quick.
I'll roll it.
Yeah, hold on before you roll.
I feel like Shaggot is judging me every time I do anything,
He
and I
probably
don't
is.
appreciate it.
You can't trust him. All
Alright. Can I go now?
All right. Yes, go ahead and roll it.
Alright. Do.
11. Okay.
11.
Because he is military, he kind of observes it, and for the sake of convenience, will quietly mention that their place would be well defended from the north. You could never approach it from the north because of all the swamps, and he thinks that that might be a deliberate ploy on their part. I'm going to see if I can zoom in a little bit for you guys. If Roll20 will cooperate. Yeah, there we go. All right. Once you get close to the village, you notice that Mara kind of takes the lead and goes to the front and allows Ukva to follow up from the rear.
Is this a women-owned tribe?
It doesn't appear to be. Kind of glancing around, there's definitely a lot of very big, burly male warriors everywhere. There's dozens of small huts. All the huts themselves are made of very kind of sturdy wooden structures.
It's a shame.
They
We
all
better
have
put spells
like
in.
hide sides to them, which is all intricately sewn. There are a lot of different kinds of hides, clearly. It looks like there's anything from... There's tanned colors, dark black, red colors, all different hides all sewn together. At the top, there's like a separate insert that has a second canopy at the top of it. So if you know, think of like how a gazebo, sometimes gazebos have like a 2 layers. They have like a canopy with a hole and then another smaller canopy over the hole that would allow smoke and stuff to escape. That's how these are constructed. As you're kind of going closer, tons and tons of tribespeople have all come rushing to see the spectacle. You can see small children, various different big brutish individuals. Some of them have war paint, some of them do not. You're very quickly realizing that the war paint is probably some kind of identifier, the difference between just a hunter and possibly a warrior, or maybe it signifies some kind of rank. Who can tell? At the very center, there's a huge big fire that seems to be golden, orange, and red with embers. And they have got kind of like... almost like slightly raised off the ground benches that have been made where they've like taken 2 thick logs and then put loads and loads of smaller sticks across the top to make kind of like a slightly raised up seat. That they've got those gathered all the way around the fire, some kind of meeting point. All of the tribesmen are all just looking inquisitively at you as you are being led slowly into the center of the
Hey,
village.
thanks for not eating us.
This must have been where they did their tribal sacrifice.
This is where they ate Cecilia. All right. As she continues to move forward, she immediately kind of like looks back at you and rather like concerned is like, keep up.
All right.
Whoops. Sorry, Dallas. You go first.
I'm trying to find a spot in the line where I'll fit. I'll just go.
There we go. Oh, wait. You okay. I'll get behind Dallas.
Oh, okay.
God, I'm under.
Oh, no.
All right. As you're kind of glancing around, everybody give me a straight wisdom check.
Oh. I just accidentally clicked on the bookmarks bar, so this is going to take me a second. Sorry about that.
What am I doing?
Did you say?
Darth with 11, Rush with a 17, Jash with a 12,
This is just not rolling one today.
Mary with a 5.
Shoot.
She's obviously
Great
not very
rolls.
observant.
It's okay, baby. You don't need to be wise when you got hits like that.
I beg to differ.
Who hasn't rolled yet? Physic.
Great wisdom?
Yeah. Alright, okay, so Daleth, Rush, and Jash, you definitely notice a few faces that seem familiar, like, oh, there's one of those guys that I saw that was, like, in the battle. That's one of the guys that we shot at. That's one of, and all of them are looking at you with a very different look. They seem to be very angry and scowly, and have got weapons almost poised as if at any minute they might actually launch into some kind of hostile attack.
Oh, come on. We almost only killed one of you.
Yeah. All right. So basically,
I'm gonna just keep my eyes on those guys a little more.
Mara takes you all the way up around and begins to approach this huge big tent.
Oh, way over there.
Oh, all the way up around. Oh, that's a fun tour. Right by that lady who almost got eaten by my direwolf.
Yes, and that is indeed her. You notice as soon as you get there, she kind of looks at you and scowls, and then she says, Mara, you went looking for eggs, and you found something much more valuable. Good hunting. And Mara just looks back and smiles and nods. And Ukvar says, yes, we caught these by the swamp.
Yes.
Play along with it. Just play along with it.
Caught us.
What do you mean call us?
He doesn't answer. He just kind of nudges you all forward. They seem to be pushing you a little bit harder now. Like, instead of being just casually following you along, if you linger, they kind of like give you a shove in the back, like keep up, pushing you
Two of
forward.
them caught us, whereas a whole tribe couldn't.
Right.
Makes sense.
At the entrance to the tent, you notice two of probably the largest specimens that you have seen. They have huge, big, bone-handled axes. The axes look like they're kind of like, clearly they're not a spinal column because it wouldn't be structurally sound. But you can see little glimpses between the bones to where if you imagine someone took a huge wooden shaft handle and then filtered spinal bones all the way down it to make a bone-looking handle, and then the top of it is almost like somebody has taken the hip bones of some huge creature that was naturally curved and has sharpened it to an edge to make a massive double-headed axe. They're quite sinister. From a military standpoint, you know darn well they wouldn't stand up to parrying against metal swords and stuff like that. But there's no doubt about it, they've got the weight and the sharpness to cleave through flesh and bones. So they're probably very effective as long as they get to hit first.
Pretty sure they could just sit on me and
that's-
it'd be okay.
Yeah, they're not metal, but they're metal.
Yeah. Heavy metal, dude. Right. I'm going to go ahead and roll this out.
There's so much metal about this environment right now. Fucking
Yeah.
old
All right.
metal album cover.
Get some swamp rock
You are
going on.
ushered inside the huge tent.
Oh god, everything got huge. Hold on.
Yep.
Yep. No reason for it to be so sparse at this point. Alrighty.
Well, gosh damn it, Dallas.
There's your Ned.
Thanks for the Ned.
Alrighty. As soon as Daleth goes in, the two huge barbarians move to kind of block the entrance way or exit way of the tent. They have not taken any of your weapons away. You still all have those, which kind of probably makes you feel a little bit better.
The tribe leader or whoever he is, he would look fucking awesome on like one of those furry blankets with like lightning and shit behind him.
All right, sitting down at the far end on a massive bearskin rug is not that individual. Is this individual here? Okay, he has what appears to be like a wolfskin pelt over his forehead and over his shoulders. He's wearing matching wolfskin loincloth. He appears to have two hand axes, also made of bone, but they have just simple, although ornately carved wooden handles. No, no spinal columns on them.
I approve of his fashion sense. Do we have a close-up picture of him?
I just popped it up. Did you get to see it?
Oh, maybe not.
No, sir.
There, hang on. No, you stay there. Stop moving. All right.
Sorry, boss.
There.
Oh,
Oh, cool.
All right.
Is he a
Clearly
handsome guy?
It's a little.
It's hard to tell because you can really only see. I mean, the wolf part. It comes all the way down and comes across his cheeks, covers his nose, so you can see eye slits. He has a very strong-looking square jawline, and much like some of the other huge barbarians, he is clearly very muscled and very fit and athletic.
All right, I can work with that.
At a guess, although it's hard to tell because you can't really see his face, he doesn't look like he's that old.
Hell yeah.
So, it doesn't look like this is like a tribal elder, more like some kind of either head warrior, or maybe this is how this tribe functions. It's not about who's the wisest, it's about who's the strongest. Okay, as they walk in, Mara steps forward. You notice her put her shield on the ground, and then she lays her bone sword on top of it, raises her hands, and she says, "Greetings to you, Bruhava. We have brought visitors." At this point, you notice Ukva walks over, lays his spear down on the ground. Once again, you see him, "Greetings, Bruhava. These strangers from a distant tribe brought us here and rescued me from the bog. And one of them is a witch, priestess, who has the gift administer to heal the wounds of Mara. She was stabbed by one of the bogmen, sure to have died, but this one has the healing ways." Okay, with that, you just hear him, and they both move off to the side and sit down on these makeshift wood piles that are covered over with kind of like old, less intact canvases or hides. They're kind of like just discarded and thrown on there. The big brutish fellow wearing all of the wolf pelt stands up, and you notice he kind of like almost deliberately does a slow motion shoulder stretch just to kind of like he's gripping his muscles tightly. It's more like a display of a bodybuilder than anything else than a yawn, and you're pretty sure it was a fake yawn anyway. Clearly he's posturing. He kind of like flexes his shoulders and arms, cracks his neck a couple of times, and then says, "Which tribe are you from? Come closer."
They'll step forward. Mostly
Take a few
terrified.
steps forward, and Jash is gonna, holding Ned in one arm, pick up his other arm and go, "We're from a tribe way to the west," and flex as hard as he can as he points the direction over that way, and just bulging it as much as he possibly
the Mr.
can.
Universe look.
Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah.
I'm gonna put down my toolbox in front of me, and I'm gonna kneel down on one knee and say, "Greetings, Bruhava. I hail from the tribe of Brinkery." And I'm gonna
Brinkery.
give him a wink.
All right. What is Jash's strength?
It is 16.
Oh, so he's pretty tough. Okay, you get a raised eyebrow from Bruhava with your.
Yeah, that's
flex
why. Look
arm.
at it. Look at it. As he kind of says,
And then Daleth goes. No, I'm not. I don't think he would ever do that. With his noodle arms. Okay, he says. So you hail from the tribe of Brinkery.
Yes.
Where is this tribe? We have not seen you before. You wear strange dress, carry strange weapons.
We come from the mountains.
You are mountain dwellers. This
Of a type, yeah.
would explain why we have not seen you before. Why do you come to the forests? What brings you to Agashi territory?
We're looking for one of our members.
You are looking
She was
for
in a machine that crashed.
a machine.
It's like a great flying bird made by man.
A flying bird. Made
Of
by
sorts.
man. This. Are you telling me you can fly?
We can build machines that allow us to fly.
To explain machine, maybe show them Jerusha.
Yeah, he
I'm gonna-
clearly looks incredibly baffled by this
I'm
concept.
gonna take out my weasel,
Okay.
and I'm gonna place her on the floor and tell her to slowly approach him. She
Okay.
won't hurt.
All right. Instinctively, without hesitation, he pulls one of the hand axes and kind of gets into almost like a combative pose as he watches the very small mechanical weasel wear its way across towards him.
She
what-
won't hurt. You can touch.
He
You can touch all day. Go ahead.
curiously reaches out and lightly touches it on the head, and you see him pull his hand back, and
Lightning.
it is cold. This. What are these scales that adorn this creature?
It's a metal. It's made from material from the mountains.
It is rock.
It's similar to rock.
Heavier than rock.
I'm kind of gonna glance over at Jash and be like, "He touched my weasel."
1,000 times now. All right, I get it.
Okay, with that, you hear kind of like some grumbling and complaining outside. Marigold, you can hear it pretty clearly. You hear a woman, "Let me pass! I must
no.
tell Bruhava! Let me
Oh
pass!"
no, same woman?
And yes, barging in from the back
Dang it.
is the woman that seemed to be leading the hunting tribe.
Ah,
She very quickly and hastily stomps over to here, and then almost, she goes to speak. She's like, and then catches herself
Greetings,
and puts the
Brahava.
bow on the floor, quickly, hastily throws the arrows down, and she says, "Greetings, Bruhava. Aye. But I, Sartha, must tell you. These are the ones. This is the tribe that attacked us in the forest." And he kind of looks at her and he says, "Is this true? Did you make war on Agashi?"
She said she was going to eat us.
I made a joke. I was trying to lighten the mood, and then at one point they are devious. They are very devious, Bruhava. They must not be trusted. They gave us their weapons freely to lower our guard, and then suddenly they struck. The animals of the forest came and attacked us. And while we were defending them and ourselves from the animals, they turned on us and began to attack us. And
She said she was going to eat us.
we verily managed to escape with our lives. This one here possesses the boomstick that we spoke of. With that, with a very kind of like concerned look on his face, Bruhava says, "Ah, this boomstick, bring it to me. I wish to see it."
Uh-oh.
I think
This
Dallas.
is something you gotta be careful with, yeah.
Yeah, he'd probably be like, "Okay, you gotta hold it up. You gotta hold it from
Wait,
this end.
Maybe,
Don't do this."
maybe,
Unload it?
unload it first.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So you have
so-
Dalith basically uncock it and
Yeah.
shake the
Yes.
ball out.
yeah.
Or at the very least, all he can do is make a loud flash.
Yeah, and I guess it would just like probably prostrate a little bit as he hands it over.
Okay,
Ruhava.
but he picks it up and holds it in every imaginable way that you could hold a gun wrong. Is basically how he holds it. You see him like do this with it as if he's trying to use it as a spear. You
Dal
see him like
winces.
turn it around, holding it by the barrel, and like try to figure out would it be a useful club. Clearly not understanding the concept.
I imagine Dallas is like,
Wait, just don't touch it.
Finally, he kind of like hands it back to Dallas, seemingly unimpressed, and says, "How does it speak?"
Okay, gun safety 101. He's gonna have to demonstrate.
it uses. I'm gonna take out the gunpowder that I have.
Okay.
It uses this and fire.
He kind of
Explodes.
beckons you to come closer.
Oh hell yeah, man! It's explosive. Big boom.
What have you like poured some into your hand, or are you
Yeah.
throwing it in the flask? Okay. He reaches
I'll pour a little
down,
bit into my hand.
picks up a pinch of it, and immediately
Oh god.
and spits it out. This tastes of ash. It tastes of ash and sulfur.
Yes, that's the sulfur. That's what makes boom.
You will show Bruhava how this makes noise.
Sure.
But Bruhava, shh! He says as he kind of shuts down Sartha briefly.
We should go somewhere safer. We don't want to do it in here.
We would.
Someone
we'd
could get
love to
hurt.
show you, but
Have to
we have a
wait.
child who is dying currently. He needs food badly.
You wish to eat?
At least him.
And
You
me.
wish to eat him?
No. I was gonna make the joke. We wish for him to have something to eat. He is starving.
Yes.
Yeah,
We
if
will
you-
Yes, must
prepare
be
food
dated.
for you. Whether
Thank
you be
you so
prisoners
much.
or friends. We
I'm just
will not
throwing
see
some
you
of-
starve.
Either way, we are extremely grateful for your hospitality. We will show you how the boomstick works.
Very well. Let us go outside. All right. So, yeah. He is heading out the tent, and then he bellows to everybody outside. From the tribe of Brinkery, these mountain men and children will demonstrate now the boomstick.
Damn it. I'm not a child, man. How am I ever gonna get action if everybody thinks I'm a damn kid?
I mean, you are the technically sole leader of the Brinkery tribe. That might be something.
That's true.
So yeah, Daleth would have to be.
Now that I think
Out
about
there.
it, other than Ned, I'm probably the youngest one here too.
Okay, he
it's
says,
between you and
Show us!
There you go.
Show us how to make the boomstick speak.
So yeah, you would basically just like
Let Dallas
boom
reload it.
powder, boom stick, boom rod, boom ball.
Everything's All right. So he loads and primes the weapon.
want
Do you
this
want to
to be a
shoot
big-
at something or just fire it in the air?
Yeah.
Or what's the...
And then I would
Do they want to
probably
target?
go out with.
Dallas.
Yeah, what do I have on hand? Because I have a list of goodies that I have here. White drop mushroom, glowy upper shroom, dead friends.
Yeah, that'll
bottle
impress him
of
if he can blow up a mushroom.
death.
Do you have anything
It
that would
probably
be
would.
like
I got rid of
a
the cyclopean.
can, maybe?
I have bottles. I could sacrifice a bottle for the display.
Sure. Let's put it somewhere
All right.
for him to aim.
Okay.
Yeah,
so how far away
Miss
do
and
you want to
accidentally
put
kill
the
a
bottle?
Oh, how big are these squares? This is okay. So it's about 10 feet a square.
Yeah.
You could probably set up like a little bit of a range here, and then I could put the bottle there, and then I could be like, dangerous boom zone.
All right. So everybody figures that standing away from that is probably a smart thing. All right. So you're gonna set it up like about here.
Probably a little closer. Just make it an easy pot shot for him, so it's not a big deal.
Okay. Yeah. Make a ranged attack roll then. Shoot that glass bottle.
Don't roll a 1. Oh, please don't.
Please.
Pull up down.
Hey, blow that. If you roll a 1 now, it'll be brilliant. Just saying. The damn thing will explode in Shaggett's face, and then they'll be like, yeah, that's pretty impressive, dude.
Come on.
Why does it roll so many dice?
I don't know.
All to come up with...
10 on it.
I love macros, man. It rolls
Yeah.
all those dice just to come up with 2 numbers. All right, yeah. So basically, effortlessly, he squares up on it. The gun lets off its so familiar loud blast that echoes through the tribe. The bottle shatters into thousands of pieces, and they all like leap and jump back. Even the guy with the wolf's skin clothing, Bruhava, kind of startles from it.
Boomtown. That's what Dallas says.
The boomstick.
Immediately you can hear the whole tribe is a murmur. Oh, you hear everything from "He breathes fire" to "He is a witch doctor. He has dark magic at his disposal." Clearly,
Not
they still have no real understanding. However, what it has done is drawn the attention of another strange-looking individual.
Uh-oh.
Dalsim! Sorry.
Medicine man.
All
Oh,
right.
a snake
Yoga
man.
fire!
This guy comes out. He's basically
Snake charmer.
he is covered in what looks like caked mud all over. He has got like whitewash over his bald head, and yes, he has got serpents wrapped around his arms, around his waist, around his neck. And he is come with very, very big, bulbous, curious eyes to see what's going on. As he kind of arrives, you see Brukava raise his left hand, and he goes like, thumps his chest twice, and then does basically a slow motion peace sign. Godol. These are from the tribe of Brinkery in the mountains. This one possesses something known as a boomstick. It spits fire and destroys things at range. Okay, you're the closest, so he comes in close to Thyssic, and he holds up one of the serpents, and he's got this kind of like snaggle-toothed, mouthy grin. You notice that he has sharpened the 4 front teeth into points. Clearly,
Procedure.
yeah, it probably hurts like hell, but you know what? He holds up one of the snakes and thrusts it towards you. Do you wish to do anything when he does that?
Yeah, I have some wild empathy thing I can do.
Okay.
So it basically just means I can tell what the animal is thinking and doing. So as he's approaching with the snakes, can I tell they're at calm or?
For the most part, they seem. The one that he's grabbed by the neck and thrusting and like holding it to point it in your direction seems noticeably agitated.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if I'm not the threat. He probably won't bite me, so.
Okay. Do you wish? I mean, so you're just going to kind of let him do it? You don't want to do any? You want to use any abilities, anything like that, or just?
If it poisons me, I'll cure the poison.
Okay, all right. It doesn't look like a venomous snake, first of all.
Yeah.
It looks like a constrictor
Okay.
of some kind. All right, so he thrusts it at you.
I'll just kind of greet it, really.
Okay. How are you going to greet it?
Like, if he's tossing it at me, I'll basically just accept whatever's coming my way.
Okay.
Kind of in a prostrate kind of way.
Because it's like it's
Greet
wrapped
the
around his
snake.
arm, and then he
Yeah.
grabbed it by the head, and he's like gone prodding it at you.
He's prodding it
like
at me.
thrusting it towards you, like to get a reaction, either from
Oh.
you or the snake. Who knows?
Well, in that case, I'm just going to be looking curiously at the confused snake and the man who's curiously prodding me a snake. I thought he was going to chuck it at me.
All right. Yeah, you're familiar with such animals, and it will make perfect sense. You're not particularly intimidated by it. Okay, so you don't react. Therefore, the snake doesn't react, and he looks very disappointed,
Aw.
agitated that that's all that happened. At which
Snake
point
to a
he
druid.
holds up his hand, and dismisses you, and scurries over towards Jash. He paws at Ned, who's like hanging at you, and he's like grabs Ned by the hair and lifts his head up to look at him.
Careful. Careful.
And then he just lets his head go, so Ned's like, "Poof." And he raises the
Zora.
serpent towards Jash, like, and prods it in your general direction.
Yeah, I just raise an eyebrow and just stare at him.
Alrighty.
I'm too hungry and tired to be having to deal with any of this right
Intimidated by
now.
a guy
Yeah,
with a
I'm
white
just
python hanging off his arm.
too exhausted and hungry at this point.
Alrighty. He bypasses you and comes down to Rush. And again, he kind of stoops down, and he reaches out with his other hand and like paws at your huge, big, fluffy red hair, and he's like pulling on it a little bit, like trying to see if it's legit, if it's real.
Don't play with me. If you're gonna pull hard.
All right, he kind of looks at you rather curiously, and then, almost as if he's literally attempting to pull a piece out, he snatches it really, really hard, and probably does come away with a few strands. And he kind of looks at him, and then you see him tuck him into his loincloth, rather curiously.
Oh. He knows what they're for. Okay.
All right. Where did Marigold go? I don't see her.
Where did Marigold go? Oh, Marigold's like underneath Jash, I think.
Oh, you're hiding under
Yeah.
Jash? There you are.
I
Okay.
see her purple. Yeah.
All right. So now he comes up to Marigold, and he actually look up a little bit to where Marigold is. Looks at her rather curiously, and then completely inappropriately reaches forward and just pokes her in the chest.
Ow! Don't touch me.
And then he grabs her forearm and like checks her muscle tone.
I'm gonna pull my arm away a little bit. Like, stop it.
And then finally he makes a much more curious approach as he kind of like
I'd
gets
be
a
more
little lower,
gentle with
almost
you,
like he's
like-
creeping over to where Daleth is. Of course, who can see him in plain daylight, but he's like skulking close
Did he hurt
to
you?
Daleth.
Do you need me to take a look?
Poked me in my chest
He
already.
reaches out to touch the tip of the boomstick with his fingers. Daleth wish to react in any way, or?
I mean, it's probably hot.
Yeah, and it's discharged.
No
so
longer,
it's
yeah,
not
it's
loaded,
no
at
longer
least.
dangerous. So
Yeah.
yeah, you probably hold it out more in a you can inspect this kind of way.
All right. So if you he paws it a few times, and then he grabs it and snatches it, and he
Okay.
holds it up in the air like he's just acquired some kind of trophy, and he's like, and then he spins around twice holding it.
Okay.
Every tribe's got to have the senile one, I guess.
All right. With that, Bruhava says, "You have made a good impression. Godor is pleased."
It's weird.
All right, well, that's good news, I guess.
Who's that?
Go door an elder of your tribe? Or
Godor is our witch doctor.
oh, that makes sense.
He is the wise one.
Like,
It is by
Is
Goldor's
he
he?
like Rafiki?
it is by Goldor's recommendation that you live or die.
Oh, I see.
If the gods are favorable, then you will live. If they are not, you will be put to death.
Tritherion? We'll be fine. Is that
But
your
indeed,
god?
Goldor seems content with your gift.
Oh shit.
Sorry, gift?
As now Goldor is dancing around all the members of his tribe holding the boomstick. Again, he's not holding it appropriately, but he is kind of holding it like this. He's pointing it in the right direction, but he doesn't have his finger on the trigger, and he hasn't got it stocked. It's more just in front of him as he's walking up to people going, "Ha!" And they're all "Ooh," noticeably scared of him.
At least he doesn't know how to load it. You end up shooting somebody.
As he continues to weave his way around different tribes members, scaring them with the boomstick.
Oh, that's Rafiki.
Yeah, obviously Daleth has a very concerned look on his face at this moment.
Yeah.
He's probably sweating so much right now.
Yeah. No. That's gonna take a minute to process.
But come,
Well, we'll get back later.
bring food. We will eat. Come with us. And with that, he
Okay.
kind of like leads you to the center where the fire is.
Okay.
I'm gonna look around and see if that woman that hates us is like watching us.
She is watching you from the entrance of the tent with a very scowly look on her face.
Okay.
It's probably gonna try and kill us anyway.
I'm going to
Alright.
keep an eye on her.
Alright, well, she moves over to here. There are already a few people gathered around the fire. Your, the two that you helped, Ukva and Mara, they're sitting over here. And you are obviously encouraged to take seats.
Okay,
We'll do so.
I will do so.
Alrighty. And I need to steal my chief.
Hey, you come here often, or?
Every day.
Always here, mate. Always here. Right, let me go ahead and move you back to the village. Alright. Okie doke. So yeah, where do you guys want to sit?
I kind of filtered into spots that were available.
Yeah, I think we all kind of had a seat.
Oh, I
Well,
guess
some
I'll
of us
move over
is.
so that Ned can be beside Physic, though.
Okay. Yeah, I'll take Ned with me.
Oh, you take him? Okay.
Well, Well, I'll need help taking him, but yeah.
I would have dropped him off next to
Okay.
you.
There you go.
Kind of slumped
Where are you?
over, like, against you.
Okay. All right. So your the witch doctor continues to dance around, scaring people with the boomstick, and they're all clearly not happy with it. He seems to take great relishment and joy at frightening the children with it and making them run screaming. Clearly, he's either very easily amused or a little bit of an asshole, to be honest. So it's not long before they start bringing you bowls. In those bowls seems to be some kind of meaty stew. It smells a little pungent, but looks probably edible. At least some of them are eating it. Bruhava, almost like he's trying to entertain people that have considerably less intelligence than him, holds up the bowl and he's like trying to show you to eat. Like, oh, you can eat this.
Alright, I'm just gonna nod along.
Guano bowls.
I'm gonna prod Ned a little bit, get him awake,
All right. He's
please. Ned, we have food. Ned.
Ned literally seems so weak that he probably cannot feed himself at this point.
Okay, scoop him up around the back. Putting
You need a
food-
baby, bird it to him.
Yeah,
Josh,
chew it
have
up,
you done that before?
chew it up and gob it
No.
in his mouth.
That's what I'll do. That's what I'll do. It's what I have to.
Okay, all right. So
You're
you
a good
start to
mother.
feed him. Of course, as soon as he gets a few bites down, he slowly starts to eat more and more, and his strength seems to come back just as easy as his metabolism drains quickly. It seems to recover quickly as well. And within about 30 minutes, and probably his third or fourth bowl full of this stew, he is sitting back up and ravenously feeding himself
Wow.
and wolfing this stuff down. Taste-wise, it's got a very gamey taste. It's up to you if any of you want to ask what it is. But
I
I
think
wouldn't
I
care. I would
it
just eat it.
clearly is a lot
Wait, what if
heartier
it's human?
and protein-filled, and it's way more than just mushrooms and a few
I don't
leaves.
care.
don't want to know.
What's in
Don't
this
care
soup?
what it is.
I'm
It's
gonna
just good.
ask. What's
Oh,
in
no.
this? It's pretty good, I say.
As Bruhava continues to eat, he says,
I don't know why that came out of my mouth.
Oh,
So
man.
he says, it is swamp people eggs and snake.
So an omelette. Sounds good.
Well,
Just keep
it's
eating.
weird because these eggs, they're from a reptile. So there's not really like there was never a yolk or anything like that. It's basically unproperly developed lizard people.
Sounds like an omelet to me.
Caviar.
So, hence probably the gamey taste. Physic can definitely tell there's a few herbs and spices that he recognizes in there. It's definitely got some mint and some oniony flavors, oniony kind of tasting stuff. So there's several different plants that could be, maybe mint and onions. But
Probably.
But altogether, I mean, it is definitely edible. And when they see how readily you're like eating this stuff, they continue to bring you more and more and more of it. So
Awesome.
you literally can eat your fill and get to the point where you're all fully,
Perfect.
health, at least full again.
I am back to being full-bodied.
All right. Now you've kind of
Yeah,
gotten
you
over
are.
that, and your stomachs are all full. Anyone wish to do anything, talk, discuss anything with this guy, or you want to just kind of sit there with a big happy grin on your face, patting your tummies?
So has any other human come from the east with perhaps blonde hair? Does he have blonde hair? I don't know.
Yeah, she does.
Blonde
Sure.
hair, this color. I'm gonna point to my hair color. Have you seen anyone that kind of looks like me?
We have not seen anybody from another tribe in over 40 moons.
What? Why not?
It's a lot of moons.
There are no other tribes like the Agashi in this part of the forest. Once there was. Agashi used to fight and war with other tribes. Other tribes that worshipped the clawed stinger, tried to kill us, used to attack and raid Agashi village, but Agashi are strong. We are great warriors.
That's coincidental. We
We
encountered
followed them to their city and destroyed them. We lost many great warriors in the war and the battles. But now, Agashi rule this territory.
I'm flipping through my book, and I'm gonna have like a drawing of the scorpion decal
Okay.
we found earlier. I'm just gonna be like, was it a tribe that wore this banner?
These are clawed stingers.
Huh.
So was that the ruins?
We may have dealt with the leftovers of that tribe.
Even the Tusktooths are scared of Agashi. They have not raided us in over 10 moons. The last time, they lost many warriors.
Are
I'm
there
seeing a
only
pattern
those
here.
two tribes then? Are there more?
There are many Tusktooth tribes.
Tusk too.
Ah, orcs.
Oh right.
But the Tusktooths, they know better. Tusktooths are strong and great warriors and cunning. But they do not get along. Their tribes are small. They argue and fight amongst themselves. Agashi is unified. We stand together. This is how we've managed to rule this territory. This is how we prosper.
Very wise.
So it is a.
Now, since we have decided not to kill you,
Thank you, by the way.
describe this flying bird to me. What did it look like? How big were its wings?
Ah,
I'm gonna point at Physic. Got a drawing, right? We got a
Right.
drawing of
Right.
everything.
Let me see. No, you know what? I left that one at home.
Oh man.
Anybody have a set of coloured pencils or pastels? Canvas or two?
Yes, there was a giant explosion, a fire. We saw it far to the west of our ship.
This flying bird. It.
Yes, it was traveling with, like we said, one of our a tribal princess, if you will.
Ah.
And she was going to have a merger. We were sending her to another tribe.
Gift.
Merger.
A
Like
marriage.
businesses.
A marriage.
A marriage.
Yes.
Marriage. What is marriage?
A man
a
and a
merging
woman.
of our
A
tribe.
union. A union.
A
Yes.
union.
Yes.
Union.
Ah, for the mating. Ha ha.
Sure.
Speaking of-
Yes, for the mating.
This great bird. It breathes fire.
Use more hand gestures. A merger.
No. Not exactly.
Not this one.
But you said there was great fire.
There was an accident. Or perhaps it wasn't an accident, I don't know.
Yeah.
Something, or it somehow exploded. Boom!
The bird? The bird boom.
Yes.
This is strange. Why would a bird boom? Ah! Was the bird the bird was struck with boomstick.
We used some of the same components to help the bird fly.
Okay,
Very
clearly
volatile
looks incredibly
materials.
baffled by the entire concept.
The very, very dangerous materials. Potential to be dangerous if not used properly.
No. These materials, they make the bird fly? It is what the bird eats, to fly.
Not a living bird. Not a bird, but a machine that flies like a bird.
Here, I will show you. I walk over with my
With your
journal
charcoal
out,
sketch.
my quick charcoal sketch. There's a large pocket of warm
Hold
air.
closer. I cannot see.
I have to adjust. Yep. Oh, wait, where's it? Ha 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 ha. There's the thing. The thing goes that way, and then if I
Alright.
do
Okay.
my camera right,
He grabs the book from you and pulls it to him and looks at it. At that point, he raises his hand. He says, "Godor!"
Uh-oh.
I'm gonna lose my book.
And he stands up suddenly, still holding your book. And the crazy witch doctor comes over. He says, "Look," and shows him. Godor looks at it, and he's like, and then he looks at you. As he glares at it. And then for the first time he utters actual words as he says, "The cursed land!" And with that, Bruhava takes the book away like he knows that at any minute now Godor is going to run off with it.
Oh, thank you.
And he thrusts it back at you and he says, "What do you know of these cursed lands?
Cursed lands?
This thing, 'tis no bird. This is the cursed cage of death."
Cursed cage of death.
Why?
It's a boat.
You saw it crash.
We have not seen crash. We do not know crash.
It's
But
in
we
the
have
sky,
seen
and then
something that looks like this.
Really? When?
It is a cage of strange bone. It dug a great canyon and ate many people. It breathed fire
Oh.
and burned some of them to a crisp.
People from another tribe or from yours?
These were not Agashi. They were scattered, as if the great beast scooped them up, burnt them, and threw them to the air. Bodies laying, some consumed, some burned.
Sounds like it was
This is
some
a
of
cursed
our-
land. The Agashi do not go here. Our witch doctor Godor tells us this is a curse. A strange curse from evil gods that create this strange cage of bone. And all who go close will be destroyed and engulfed, and slain like the many that surround it. No, Agashi will not step foot here.
That's probably for the best. It could be dangerous, yeah. Hodor's right.
Why would your machine bird go to the cursed land?
It wasn't meant to.
It seems someone might have misguided the machine bird to this cursed land.
The cursed land has a road of black, with banks as if of a river. But there is no water, only ash and decay. At the end of the black road is the cage of death.
We need to go there.
Does it still burn?
The Agashi have not stepped foot since we saw it the first time, a few moons ago. We heard a loud scream, as if some great beast was roaring to the heavens. We went to investigate. It took us days to reach there, many days. But when we did, we found the Black Road, and at the end of it, the cage of death. So many souls destroyed and eaten by this great beast.
It's terrible.
This is our mission, to go to this cage of death, and if we can, save any lives that might not have, any souls that might not have been eaten.
All of them are dead. Nobody survives the cage of death. Merely to approach it is certain doom. If you follow the Black Road, you are all doomed to die.
You don't know that for certain.
Luhava would not recommend this. At least, if you must do this, you must wait for a favorable omen.
What's that mean?
Perhaps our gods will choose to bless you. Tonight we will have a feast. We will dance for you, and dance to our gods.
Oh yeah?
And Godor will reach out to the spirit world and speak to the spirits and see when it is most favorable for you to make this journey to the cursed land. And I
More than
think
we could
that's
ask.
probably a good place for us to take a quick break. Okay, yeah, so he's basically just got through telling you about these, this cursed land that he's referring to in the Road of Death.
Why is this land cursed? Is it... What happened? Is it before the bone of whatever you called the ship?
No, that
When Marigold says that, I'm
Marigold.
just gonna kind of look at her.
Marigold.
I'm confused.
Yeah, sorry, Trolls Meeting, there's no DP here, it's a GP. Hush, Rush. He was basically saying that, the reason they call it the Cursed Lands is because there's this cage of death
So
and there's a black road
so
that
it
leads
wasn't
to
cursed
it.
before that.
And then around there, they found strewn amounts of semi-killed, burnt, charred, destroyed bodies.
Yum.
Yeah, we're trying
He
not
was
to
really
say that we're the
struggling
reason.
whether he wanted to call it the Curse Lands or Happy Happy Fun Time Land, and he went with Curse Lands.
That's fair.
You know, so.
Okay.
But yeah, he's basically said that they're going to have a feast, and that Godor will speak to the spirits on your behalf to try to find a favorable time that you can travel to the Cursed Lands, and the spirits will protect you and give you the best chance of success.
Okay, sounds legit.
I'll just
Man
nod in
lunged a
agreement.
snake at me and runs around with a gun, not knowing what the hell it is. Yeah.
Right?
He knows what he's doing.
Of course. Anybody
As a
that
man
thrusts
of
a snake in
science.
your face clearly knows how to talk
Has it
spirits.
all together up there.
Oh yeah.
As a man of science, I can say it's very reasonable not to piss off the natives who have you outgunned and took your gun. We're gonna have to change Dallas still.
All right. Well, as night begins to set, way more food is brought out, including various
Yay.
different reptiles on a stick. There's like some big, ginormous iguana-looking animals that they're spit roasting. Way more food than you could possibly want. And after your starvation, even though your stomachs are full, it's still like, I bet I could eat more. I know I can get another couple of pounds in me before the night's through. With that, there's lots of whooping and screaming and as all the women dance around semi-clad.
Hell yeah.
And all the big tribal guys start walking up to him, and they're like chest bumping and like doing all this stuff. Somewhere in the background, you can hear lights start flashing.
Twerking everywhere.
Disco ball.
But no, basically, there's a whole lot of tribal paraphernalia going on, dancing, cheering, whooping. Any of you that seem remotely enthused to do so are grabbed and pulled out of your chairs and spun around in circles and encouraged to dance with the natives.
Oh yeah, they don't need to encourage me for that.
No. Absolutely not.
Rush is having at it.
Well, plenty of them seem quite entertained with dancing with the little man. So there's a ton of the women that seem to find it really fun to go over as they're like holding your hands down here and swinging you around, and the big burly muscular women with their incredible athletic muscles. Sometimes they spin you to where your feet are literally coming off the ground, and they
think you're
find that
fine.
entertaining as well. Physic, feel free if you want to get involved, because you know you're a little dude as well, and they probably find you just as cute.
No. I mean, anthropology is a respectable study. Whee!
So yeah,
that's
you know,
what
that
you wanna
starts
call
going
it,
on. The entire time, about every 15 or 20 minutes, you notice Ned is at the iguana. He's cutting off slices with his knife, and oh yes, and that's another thing you've noticed, that somewhere, somehow, Ned seems to have pocketed a bone knife. You kind of notice him using it to cut off, and then you see it disappear up his skirt and underneath the tip of the belt. So he's clearly smuggled that or chosen to thieve it, steal it. You're not sure whether he's trying to hide it from them or you, to be honest. But he seems to keep looking around and making sure nobody's watching. But Ned is really not that subtle. His eyes are bigger than his belly. But only for a few minutes at a time, because his belly pretty much catches up incredibly fast. But yeah, while you're content to dance and enjoy the merriment, Ned is just gobbling up gargantuan amounts of tuck. Okay. This will go on into the early wee hours of the night, unless anybody wishes to do anything or intervene in any other way.
No.
Not for me.
I would sit and watch.
Yeah,
Okay.
Josh.
just eat for me.
All right. Well, once it is truly dark, at one point, as the tribal drums begin to come to kind of like a louder and louder crescendo, all of a sudden they all just go boom, and then there's every single person in the tribe screams out at the top of their voice, ah! And throw their
I'm gonna
arms
stand
up,
up.
and drop to their knees. At which point you notice that Godor the Witch Hunter has emerged. You haven't seen him for a while, but he emerges still covered in his serpents, but now he has a totally different set of makeup on. He's got a huge big bone necklace that covers his entire upper chest. Thanks, Park and Seal, for the donation, buddy. Much appreciated. I'll check your message and thank you again properly in just a minute. And now he has got like big kind of fur cuffs around his ankles and his wrists. The face, just like the face that he's got, it's like the makeup is skull-like. It's blackened around his eyes, straight black lines across where a mustache would be. Everything is sunken. His nose has got black indentations on it. His face basically is a human skull made of paint. As he moves over, and he is carrying with him what looks like some ginormous gourd. It's bright green. It's probably about this wide, about this long, probably about 2 feet. It has a piece of rope tied to each end of it as he brings it out, and he's holding it up kind of ceremonially, and everybody is eyeing him as he moves towards the center by the fire. As he stands on the opposite side of the fire from most of you, you kind of notice something. Oh, and he apparently teleports.
And he's gone.
Pretty impressive, really. You notice that his kind of black silhouette against the dying embers of the flame looks somehow sinister. The shadows that he's giving off, because of course with low light the shadows are huge, but you could swear the shadows are moving in a totally different pattern to what he is. At times the shadows seem to take on huge big gargantuan claws, as if they kind of like loom up over the fire and then disappear into it. At other times you could believe that he has a second head and a massive tail. It's clearly probably a trick of the light, but you're just not entirely sure. He offers the gourd to Bruhava, who takes it, holds it up, and then takes a long pull of whatever's inside, clearly some kind of liquid, and then he thrusts it to his right, where Rush is basically sitting.
I'm gonna kind of look to him and then just do the same thing.
Okay. I mean, the thing is incredibly heavy. It's full of about 2 gallons of liquid. So, I mean,
awesome.
it's pretty heavy, especially for such a little fellow. So you do have to kind of like rest it on your knee and prop it up. And okay. A incredibly vinegary, sour liquid pours down the back of your throat. It burns as it sinks down. Clearly, it's it's obviously somehow fermented. There's obviously an element of alcohol to this.
Well, thank God.
But there's little chunks that seem to
worse.
float down your throat with it as well. Almost like you're drinking very, very pulpy orange juice. But clearly this is not orange juice.
Alright, pass it on to Daleth.
Alright.
Put down your rifle for a second.
He doesn't have his rifle. The rifle hasn't been seen for several hours. So, are you all in consensus that Daleth is going to drink some, or is he going to pass?
I don't think he would.
Yeah, I don't know if he would either.
I don't think he would.
I mean,
I think he'd like fake it, you know? Like
other
he'd
than,
just
other
Shaggett
than
says
Rush's
Daleth
face
does
going like a little
Daleth does it too. That's what she
Daleth does it too. So says Shaggett, so it shall be.
bit. You don't get
So
to play your
Shaggett,
character tonight, dude. You're
Daleth,
not here.
Daleth drinks the whole thing. Daleth drinks the whole thing, just in one go.
Roll for
Run out.
alcohol poisoning.
Okay, yeah. Is he
Okay,
dead?
no, so Daleth is going to drink some.
Yep.
All right. Here's the big question: is Daleth going to pass it to Ned?
I'll
Or
probably.
no.
Yeah, no, I'd be
I think
reaching
after
over
he
to
tasted
be like,
it, he
no.
would not.
Yeah, it doesn't taste good, whatever it is.
Well, he knows it's alcohol, probably, so I don't think he would give it to Ned.
Yeah, I'd take the
medieval feudal drinking age is not.
Or maybe
legally
Dallas
been
would go to
established,
pass
so-
it to Ned, but I'm pretty sure that Physic would take
Physic
it.
Physic would intercept it. Like, what are you, crazy?
Okay, alright. So, as you do that, Ned looks at you and he says, I want some, Fizzle. Give me some. Please, Fizzle. I'm thirsty.
Hold out your hand. Hold out your hand.
That
We're gonna give him
lizard's
just like
really
a little bit.
salty.
Just gonna give him a little bit of it, just a
All
little
right.
bit, so he can taste it.
Alright, so
You know, it's
pour it
like
in
this
his hand,
this
he's
is that
like-
moment. This is that moment, like Dad.
and as soon as he
son
tastes
thing.
it, he clearly doesn't want it anymore. He's like, that's revolting, Fizzle.
Yep.
I would-
I'm gonna go ahead and knock some back.
Okay, yep, so you down some.
And then pass it over.
Alright, you pass it
with-
over
with my
to
entire body.
Mara. She takes a gulp, passes it to Ukva. He takes a gulp, and then he passes it to Marigold.
I pretend to take a gulp.
Alright.
Then pass it on.
Alright, and everybody proceeds to take a drink of it until it gets around to Jash.
Yeah, I would take a swig.
Alright, okay. And after it's been passed around to everybody in the inner circle, then one by one, all the tribespeople come up and take a drink of it and pass it on and take a drink of it. And they all end up going through this strange ritual of drinking. As you kind of notice that it's a full moon. Once again, of course, with this being a large clearing, you can finally see the sky above. You've noticed there are literally no clouds in the sky at all. It's a crystal clear moonlit night. The moon is huge and full. No stars can be seen. Just a huge, big, glowing moon. And kind of a moody, dark blue surrounding it. Okay, once everybody's done that, everybody seems to stop and wait patiently as they begin to watch Goldor, who now seems to have gone into some bizarre epileptic trance. As he is now waving this bizarre stick in his hand, which looks like it's got various different pieces of fur and teeth and all other kinds of bits of paraphernalia glued to it, some kind of shamanic totem. As he starts to convulse and wave and rattle this thing in the air, as he does so, once again, the shadows that he casts off do very strange things. They seem to, 1 minute you can almost believe that their shadow is that of a wolf, then possibly a great cat, now a bear, now some weird scaled creature with huge horns. And this continues for probably close to an entire hour, during which everybody in the tribe is deathly silent.
I'm gonna hold Ned kind of close.
Okay.
Not that I'm scared, but he might be.
He seems more fascinated than scared. And as much as everybody, it doesn't stop Ned from getting up every few minutes and going over and cutting off more iguana. So he's obviously not too terrified.
Okay.
So he continues to do that. Eventually, Godor drops to the ground and begins to flay his arms as he's on his knees. He lays forward and begins to flay his arms onto the ground, picking up handfuls of dirt and throwing them up in the air in a dust cloud. And then finally he stands up with his eyes wide and then slowly starts to do this weird step dance as he's like, his left foot goes forward and bounces on the ground 3 times, then his right foot, and it goes tap, 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 next foot, tap, 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 and he's slowly coming closer and closer to you guys. As he's doing so, his shoulders are dipping and his hands are doing this weird wavy thing. And all in all, it looks like a very really stoned version of some terrible dance. Once he gets to the center, he reaches into his loincloth and pulls out a group of bones. He waves them over the smoky fire, lifts them up, blows on them, and then throws them to the ground, almost immediately following them to the floor. as he holds his arms over them with his eyes wide. And then he reaches back and... Standing up, holding his stick, waving it with kind of like a convulsion. He's like... You will be guided through the lands that are cursed. When the moon can no longer be seen in the sky.
So in the morning.
No, I think he means the moon cycle, Josh. Moon cycle.
Oh, right, yeah, sorry.
Well, I'll close my eyes and I can't see it, so can I go now? And with that, he kind of like fake collapses on the floor, and then he scovers up all of his bones and puts them in a little bag underneath his loincloth.
Time to clean up.
And then he turns and makes his way northeastwards through the camp. With that, Bruhava says, the spirits have spoken. When the moon is no longer in the sky at night, then you may start your journey to the cursed lands with the blessings of our ancestors and our spirit gods.
Thank you.
Very well. Thank you.
Is that soon? It needs to be soon.
No, a moon cycle is like a month. We have to wait like
What?
14 to 15 days.
Wait, no. We can't do that.
So basically, that's about it. It's about 2 weeks. If you're going by that, yes. Physic is right on the money. That would be when the moon is, when you've got a new moon and... So here's the question: do you want to camp out here for 2 weeks, or?
God, what?
Hang on, let me see.
Need to look over some things.
If we're going to be provided basically an opportunity for survival here, and they know where this place is, that would be a lot of searching in our part that we get to skip.
Can't they just tell us where to go?
Yeah, but you don't want to upset them. If we leave before then, they might chase after us again, and that's just... These guys have some pretty big axes. When did the ground get so...
We don't know
Dang
what
it, I forgot.
gods they worship. I mean,
We don't even know if the spirits are real and actually going to help us.
It's true. I'd rather talk to my god and ask him
Spirits
where
are
we
real.
should go.
well, there's no reason you can't,
I'm going
Marigold. But I mean, when in Rome,
to- What's that?
An interesting sour they had. I don't know where we could get more of that. That was interesting. I don't like the texture.
I mean, what if we just told them, thanks for the spirits, but no thanks? And they just went on our merry way.
You can't be rude. They welcomed us in here, and
Thank you. I do have manners, you know.
they're trying to.
I understand that, but do we really want to sit around here for 2 weeks?
No, I don't.
Hell yeah, Gore.
I don't want to sit around for another 2 days. Surely I can try to speak to my god and see what he thinks.
Yeah, well, I mean, Ned's eating and stealing, but eating.
It's not mentioning the fact that he's thieving from them. The
Every
only thing
kid
he's
has a
stolen is that
devious thing.
knife. I mean, after all, he's been trying to beg you to give him a weapon for a while. So.
I was gonna give him that bone knife anyway. I'm glad he got one. Then we both have one. Matching. We're twinning. We're doing that thing that mom and son do. Where we
Ooh, I have that.
have like similar clothes.
There it is.
So I guess that's really the thing, isn't it? Do you want to Seeing double. There you go.
Oh boy.
So really, that's the thing. Do you want to wait for 2 weeks, go with their blessing and maybe their assistance, or do you want to make some attempt to sneak out of town before then?
I'm against sneaking out.
Okay, let's see how democracy works. Show us, teach us how democracy works. So yeah, Physic, you're against that. Okay.
Oh God, wait.
Well,
Okay.
maybe who said we have to sneak? Well, maybe we could just see if the spirits could hurry it up.
We can find places to be useful here. We can learn a little bit about the area. We can learn more about what we're up against, and it'll help us in the future. I mean, this tribe is doing very well for itself, and it's, albeit different ways.
What would be the
Gosh.
difference between going, in a few days and waiting the 2 weeks as far as, why can't we be blessed until the moon is gone or whatever? What? I don't understand.
Snake guy said so.
That guy's crazy.
You are gonna take Snake Guy's word on it.
Daniel was crazy too.
Who?
No, he wasn't. Daniel was a beacon of light, of justice and freedom and happiness and everything good in the world.
Yeah.
You're just saying that because he was shiny.
He helped me become who I am today, alright? He was not crazy. That guy
Sorry,
with the
sorry,
snakes,
yeah.
a little weird. He has snakes. Weird.
Snakes mean weird? Huh.
Yes.
Physic, it does seem like you're putting learning about the environment ahead of our mission. Yeah?
Snakes.
Oh, he's drunk, isn't he?
Oh, he is a little bit.
Just hit me right now, actually. He had his thimble full of
Why
whatever that
why are
was.
snakes weird?
Snakes are weird because they're long. And they have
Long.
their hands.
All feet, all arms.
Unfooty. Okay. Snakes are long, handless, and unfooty, so they're weird. I, however, have hands and am very footy. And I'm not very tall. So I must be okay. Physic. Okay.
Rush, what do you think of all this?
It appears that Rush has
It's
drawn the
Rush.
attentions of a very well endowed and bald tribeswoman.
Oh.
And she is basically kneeling down before Rush. So she's about the same height. She's on her knees. Rush is standing in front of her, and they're holding hands and giggling a little bit. And clearly, Rush is whispering various different gnomish move words into her ear and getting somewhere for sure.
Yeah, so I'm not listening to anything you guys are saying.
Yeah, Rush seems to have definitely found something to interest him in the meantime. And it's about this time that you notice that she stands up, and her and Rush seem to be making their way towards this tent over here.
Oh my God. How did he do that?
You know, there are a lot of kinds of magic in the world, and still not sure which one made snakes.
All right.
Philosophical physics.
And they vanish inside the tent. You see the woman stick her head out, look left and right, and then she pulls the two flaps over and closed.
Cure disease tomorrow.
And what goes on in that tent, we will fade to black and we won't worry about. So you pretty much have just eradicated Rush from the whole voting thing. He doesn't really care.
Okay.
So,
No, I'm pretty sure he wants to stay here forever.
okay, well then that's
Okay,
in
anyway.
theory both the gnomes want to stay then, right?
At any rate, deciding now would be silly because I can see two options.
which means there's 4 of them.
Why
And
is it
that's
jumping?
too many options for me to decide right now because I'm drunk.
All right, I want to try to find out if we can gather supplies here anyway.
Yeah,
So
we
I'll
should.
work on that.
Let's just enjoy the comfort of some sense of stability while we can, okay?
Honest, I didn't take a sip of the thing. It smelled nasty.
It's an acquired taste, you know. It's got a little bit of a. It hits the back of the palate the most, but that's because those things kind of squirm a little bit.
Do you think that thing will give you sour lung?
Oh yeah, I've heard about that.
So Joey Quest.
Maybe I shouldn't have taken such a big swig myself. It's a good point.
Sour lung. You don't
No,
want
it
sour lung.
doesn't. Not unless you breathe it.
Okay, good.
You
Don't
might have
breathe
inhaled
this.
Alright, so you guys want to just sleep on it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it
I'll-
sounds like it.
I want to talk to Mora at some point, though, and ask her if there's any way they would help us out with a few supplies when we do head east to the.
Okay, Mara will quite
Cursed
happily
lands.
tell
Cursed
you
lands of Amber.
that she feels sure that if you are going to leave here with the good graces of the spirits, that they
jeez.
would more than happily provide you with everything that the spirits deem you should carry.
And where does one keep such supplies?
Oh.
We all have food. We all have our own belongings and possessions. The tribe shares everything.
I see.
Apparently, quite literally, as you point over to the tent that that Rush and the tribeswoman are in.
Okay. Good to know. Thank you.
All right. Well, they conveniently make this tent here, which is fairly close to the center of the entire place, vacant for you, so you have a place to stay.
Okay.
However, you do notice that it has been made pretty clear and obvious that a few of their guards should make sure that they stay vigilant and close to your tent to make sure you stay safe.
Where's Zartha? Where's she at? She's always so mad. Oh, right by Josh. Okay. Hey, it's you.
So you wander
Casey,
over
what are
to
you doing?
Sartha. She looks at you.
You know, I'm sorry about the dog. And you know, we got off on a bad start, and you know, you're really good at what you do. You're a good, strong warrior type, and I have a lot of respect for what you're doing here. You know,
It seems that Bruhava offers you favoritism, as does Godor, after your gift of boomstick.
yeah, how about that? It's just what's bothering me is we've gone a long way and we haven't seen any other humans or really people other than what do you call them, the tusk fang tusk tooth, yeah. So like we have no doubt that they would eat us, and
The
I don't know.
Tusktooths do eat people. This was my joke to you.
but
It is
having
what
only
was
ever
meant to be a joke.
having only ever seen,
You people
know,
have no sense of humor.
we don't. It's been beaten out of us.
You must learn this. It brings enjoyment and joy to your life. You must learn to smile more. And enjoy the fruits of nature. Which is the irony that she's talking to a druid.
It's hard to
Smile
smile when your best friend's
more.
Enjoy the fruits of nature like Rush does. He gets it.
more. I haven't seen any fruits in a while.
The fruits, they do not grow inside Agashi territory. They are far to the south. Sometimes, when we make spiritual journeys, we find bright colored fruit and bring them back, but they do not last long.
Oh,
Nature claims the fruit if they are not consumed quickly.
it's kind of like these. And I'm gonna sprout some good berries really quick. Just
Alright.
grow a little good berry plant and be like, one of these.
Well, she kind of reaches over and takes it. And she... Sartha, enjoy these. These are sweet. These are sweeter than the fruits that we find to the south.
She digs your berries, Physic. Bring it home.
At this point, Physic gets like visibly nervous because he's never gotten to this point in a conversation with a lady while drunk before. Yeah, well, help yourself too. I'm gonna go check on Ned's
how many
side.
good berries did you summon then?
How many is it? Is it one per level then?
I don't know. You're the druid.
I am the druid. I should know this.
What you asking me for? I don't summon good berries.
No one summons good berries. That's why I don't know. This is the most I've ever used that spell. And it's to flirt. Jeez. Doesn't get very 2d4 of them.
There you go.
So
I wasn't going to tell you how to do it, Peter, because if I do, you won't learn anything.
You couldn't have handpicked a better quote, Pagan.
6, there you go.
yeah. So there are 6. We ate 1. There's 5 now.
Okay, so yeah, she sits there and makes sure nobody else wants any, and she's mine.
That clears the air. I don't feel like I'm going to be assassinated anymore.
Yeah, she seemed to enjoy your gift of good berries.
Aw, good job.
Okay, good. Now I will be able to sleep. How are you, Ned? Is the lizard good? That was a good one. Save those for when there's no monsters. I'm tired.
I like this place, Fizzle. Can we stay?
That's going to resonate.
There's lots of food here, and they're friendly.
Yeah, they are.
Ask Mary if we can stay.
Oh no.
Yeah, I will. Go get yourself some more food, okay?
And he quite happily makes his way to the fireplace and, starts to pick the bones of the lizard, because that's about all that's left.
Hey, Mary G, how's it going?
Mary
Just knocking on the
G.
shield. Just, hey.
That's her rapper name, Mary G.
Mary G.
DJ Mary G!
in the high notes.
Here to make sure you do good things.
Hello.
um,
Physic.
Ned brought up a point. He says he wishes we could stay here forever, which got me on the thinking. Not that I'm one to throw a child and run. This might be better for him.
Do you think they'd let us just leave him?
I don't know if it would. Maybe just while we go out to the, we'd have to wait for the blessing. But if we went out and came back and we're still in good terms with these people, then
I think it might require some serious convincing or trading in order to keep Ned here and safe.
they seem to be pretty open about their food and shelter. They've given us a tent and
Yeah.
guards.
Did save 2 of them. I don't know if their good graces carries over for that long.
They expect us to stay for 2 weeks anyway.
About that, I still don't know how I feel about staying 2 weeks. When we know the way now. Roughly.
We know that there is a way, and we know that
Yes.
these people have been close enough to see the place we're hoping to go. We don't know necessarily the way.
Also, not to stop you, but I wanted to go ahead and just Park and Steel gave us a donation, and I wanted to make sure I got that reading in. So yeah, he gave us a kind donation. It said, "Receive my awesome Harry Potter Gryffindor mug prize. Fantastic.
Oh.
Hope this goes some way towards covering the incredible cost of postage that you paid anyway." Marigold gloves of fishes. Dude, it's
Thank
okay,
you.
man. I'm glad I'm glad that it got there in one piece. I was more worried about whether it would break. So I'm glad that it made it all the way over there intact. So very much appreciated, buddy.
Sparky.
Much love. Thanks.
Also, Physic has kids he can play with here if he stays for a little bit. I don't know. It seems like an ideal daycare if there ever was one in what has been wilderness hell.
They have been very kind, and if they're willing to take him in, then I am all for it.
Mm.
We just need to speak to Bruhava.
I think it's Bruhava.
Hava?
Yeah.
Bruhava.
Bruhaha.
Bruhava. Got it.
That's the sound. That's what he's always creating a brouhaha around town. All right. Yeah. So this tent, bivouac, call it what you will, is yours.
We'll kind of wander on over there, make my way over as I
apologize
pass
for the fact that you may have to hear noises coming from the closest tent to your
Oh my
right
God.
that you may not want to hear, but hey, it's a thing.
Hey, I'm used to sleeping on the bar floor. It's fine. I'm gonna just. Zatha, it's been a pleasure. I'll yeah.
Right.
Fall. Done. Out.
Go up to Josh and ask him, do you think it's a good or bad idea to wait the 2 weeks? Physic does bring up some good points.
All right, as soon as Physic heads to the tent, you very quickly notice that Ned has noticed Physic is leaving, and he snatches 2 or 3 of the iguana ribs to gnaw on, but he very quickly tails. You see him scurrying behind Physic.
That's so cute.
I'm a
he's
mom.
We just talked about leaving him.
He's a kid. He doesn't know how much he's hated.
Gore. Ouch.
All right.
Anyway.
Okay. Yeah. So Physic and Ned head off to the tent.
So what do you think, Josh?
Think about if we need to leave. Well, here's what I feel. Our mission is to save the girl and bring her back. That's what I think we should do. It should be #1 priority. I understand that the little one wants to stay around here and learn about everything, but I don't really care about that. We need to get it done and get the gold. And go home.
Well, it doesn't matter about the gold.
It matters about the gold.
It doesn't matter about the gold, but it matters about the safety of our people. Correct?
Yeah, sure, fine, whatever. But anyways, we need to get a move on if we're going to ensure that part of it.
Do you even care about that part?
The people?
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Of course I do.
No, you don't. Look at your face.
Oh, not really, to be honest. No, they're just a mission. They're a means to an end. I don't not care, if that makes sense.
I've seen you care before. You've saved so many of our lives.
Yeah, see, I'm not a monster. What are you trying to imply? What are you trying to say?
I think you do care. You're just hiding it.
Speaking of caring, what did you ask that one woman about where to keep all her stuff?
Well, I asked her
Hmm.
if she'd be able to give us some supplies for the road. She said yes, but only in the good graces of the spirits, which means they would only give it to us if we wait out the 2 weeks.
Okay, but you're saying we should leave.
Let's go walk this way,
All right.
away from people.
Noticing that you're still sitting right there.
Yeah, I was
between
like, wait a
the
second, there's
either
people
way.
everywhere.
All right.
Go for a
I
nice
kinda
stroll around
catch
the
up.
camp. Take in the sights.
Yeah,
But
we're gonna
you-
stroll around.
Okay.
Okay.
But you
I
you
just-
want to leave?
Daleth is going to get some sleep, so he's going in the tent.
I just don't put a lot of stock in different spirits that aren't my god. And maybe it's true, but I need to talk to Tritherion. 'Cause only
Okay,
he
but-
knows the true answer.
But why did you ask him where all their stuff is?
Just in case.
Shots fired.
In case what?
I kind of posture up a little bit.
In case what exactly?
In case we need to take matters into Tritherion's hands.
Ah, yes, of course, the God's hand. Yes, of course. I'm Marigold. I never do anything wrong. Ha. Yeah, see, there's a side of you too you ain't showing either, is there?
I told you I'd come from a very terrible past where I've done many terrible things, alright?
But I thought you put it all behind you, in the good graces of Tritherion.
I did.
Yeah, of course, sure. Until all of a sudden, until the event arises where you need to throw it all away and do what you need to do, isn't it?
Only if Tritherion says it's what I should do.
Ah, mm-hmm.
But I've been working on something. Josh, I've been working on something.
Now you sound drunk.
I've been working on something special. I'll find out tomorrow if it works, but if it does, we might not even need to steal anything.
What are you working on?
I might be able to make food and water.
Okay.
My hands.
What?
And
Why didn't you do that like 2 days ago?
I didn't realize it. But now I think I can do it. I'm gonna try it out tomorrow. And now that I've learned that this is possible,
Okay, what does
perhaps I
that?
can keep everybody fed.
Okay, what does that have to do with the spirit part of everything, though? That's great. I mean, that's great, but I think the main concern is this whole 2-week waiting period that we do or we don't do.
Well, if I can create it, then we could just leave. We don't need anything else from them.
Okay,
It's an idea.
great.
Rational minds, if Tritherion says to stay, I'll stay. I'll pray to my god about it.
Of course you will. All right, great.
Going to bed.
Same. See you in the morning. Get your cooking hands ready or whatever you need to do.
Cooking hands.
Someone clip that, the voice of an age.
All
Look,
right.
you got a
Okay.
clip, Snugs.
That was
Hey,
awesome.
I think you should get some inspiration for that.
Yeah, no, that was awesome.
All right. So
Ah.
everybody is retiring then. Or what about you, Josh?
yeah, I would get some sleep as well.
All right. Get your ass in the tent then.
Dallas goes to sleep too. He was just busy sitting.
Yeah, Dallas is already in there. He's already snoozing. All right, so you guys
It's
rest
about
up
to
till
go.
the morning. Okay. Morning doth come. You are well rested. You're able to recuperate fully. A full day has passed, so you may re-request your divine graces from Tritherion this very morn. Physic can re-energize his brain to absorb and remember all the little quirks of nature that he knows how to do. And everybody else just slept well. Okay.
Everybody else just slept well.
Obviously, if anybody's down any hit points, you heal, 1 per.
Okay. You see Marigold up for hours in the morning praying a lot. A lot of praying was happening.
Praying hard.
So you are going to pray to recuperate your divine magical arts. All right. By that time, the village is already very much alive and well. It appears that a small hunting party is gathered and is heading out to the south. obviously heading out to find more sustenance and more food. Everybody else goes about general tribal life. Kids are playing. You can see them tanning hides, oiling them, and using them to make various different things, from blankets to clothing to repairing holes in the tents and stuff like that. The entire time the fire has been kept going. So, that's still ablaze. In fact, it's actually burning heavier this morning than it was last night. Instead of it being just glowing embers, they've actually got a good blaze going.
While I'm still in the tent, though, I want to cast a spell, Augury.
Augury, okay.
There you go.
Okay.
And
So,
it'll tell
augury
me-
spell,
yeah.
basically, you basically decide upon a course of action. And then you pretty much ask Tritherion to give you guidance. Of which you're either going to come up with a couple of different things. You're either going to get nothing. You're going to get a wheel and woe, which is basically, I don't really know. Which is kind of like the Magic 8 Ball, ask again later. Woe, generally speaking, means that it will not be advisable and not safe. Whereas wheel means it'll probably yield a favorable result. And it really depends on what you ask and how you ask it.
I hate that. It's always
So
bad.
we will assume, of course, that you have a little bit of incense, because you do have to burn 25 gold pieces worth of incense for this.
I have that 1 feet.
That
What is it?
doesn't
Shoe materials? It doesn't cover it?
I
it's
don't
like-
believe if it has a gold piece value, it doesn't know.
Okay. Is there incense in this camp?
Well, as I said, I'm assuming that you've got some.
Oh, I feel
So
just bring it
let's
with
do
me.
this.
Okay, I don't know.
Seeing as you're far away from home and you would have just grabbed a few rudimentary supplies, you have enough for 3 castings
Okay, cool.
on you. So doesn't mean you can't make some incense at a later date, but
Druid for that or anything.
yeah. I mean, it's entirely possible that maybe Godor might have some. He is a witch doctor, but that's up to you if you want to go and mess with that crazy part.
Straw pull out.
So, but you do have enough to cast this at least now, yes.
Okay. Alright. So I do cast it. My question would be, is it favorable to travel to the Cursed Lands now?
All right. I'm gonna make a dice roll. And we'll see, won't we?
Yes.
Alrighty. So, your question was would it be favorable to travel to the Cursed Lands now? All right. You get a woe on that one.
Ooh. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Is everybody outside the tent already, or are they all hanging out in here?
You're all in the tent still right now.
Okay. I'm gonna go and wake up from my prayer. And I turn to everybody and I go, Josh, I know we talked about this last night, guys. I have prayed to my God.
All right,
do
and a
not-
vote for
oh.
inspiration was called for
Josh!
Snugs, and it has been voted and granted a yay. So Jack
Hey,
gets
all
an
right.
inspiration point to burn at some point.
Thanks, guys.
So here we go.
Thank you, Snug.
Poof! There you go. Have a light bulb.
My pleasure.
Have a light bulb. Ding!
I don't think we should leave until these spirits said it would be safe.
I'm busy in my meditation, so I'm not hearing any of this.
All right. So let's assume then that once the meditation is over and everybody is coherent,
Okay.
then go ahead and have whatever conversation you want to have.
All right. So we're hanging out here then?
Wait, so we're gonna wait here?
I got a distinct no that we should not leave right now.
What do you mean? What? From who?
From Tritherion, perhaps he knows. Maybe CC is coming this way. Even maybe.
Okay,
you
so
know,
what did he say to
maybe
do?
there's an orc tribe there right now that's going to be gone in a week.
So then, what did he say to do?
It doesn't work like that. I just got a simple feeling of dread and fear.
Isn't that what we've been feeling the entire time we've been down here?
I asked him a question and I got an answer in the negative. And I must trust this.
Where's? Wait a minute, guys. Where's Rush?
Wait.
Did they eat him?
No.
Well, no.
Well,
don't
maybe.
I think he
Don't
did
even
the
spook.
opposite.
Don't go there. Mr. Burns, are you trying to get me drunk? Yes. Sorry.
Has Rush
No.
not come back?
Probably. I wouldn't imagine.
Yeah, you haven't seen Rush
You would.
since
Oh my God.
at some point during the dancing ceremony. After you saw him down some of the liquid, and shortly after that, you haven't really seen him since.
I'm gonna poke my head out of the little tent and just be like, "We're looking for the red-haired child. Do you know where he went?"
Oh, I know. Hey, Phasik, I know where he went. He
Oh.
went to the tent. I saw him walk off with something. Yeah, into that tent over there.
Oh. Well, then, he's probably not good for conversation for another 15 minutes.
2 weeks. So, all right.
Well, if your god concurs with theirs, that's 2 distinct omens.
I know. I could ask again tomorrow, I suppose. I could word it differently and see if I get a different answer.
Is there any way maybe I can talk to him?
You could help me form the correct
Yeah,
question.
That's
Oh.
for you.
Alternatively,
Hi,
you
Mr.
could
Tritherion.
become a
Hi,
man
it's
of
Josh.
cloth. Yeah. You could possibly convert.
No.
I would be happy to show you.
No.
Talents of Tritherion.
All right. Take it easy. Okay.
Sorry.
No.
Oh, this is what they meant by
No,
sense of
no.
humor. Oh, it's great.
It's not funny. I don't appreciate it. I thought maybe there was some sort of thing. Close my eyes real tight and think real hard about it. I don't know how that
I can
works.
ask Tritherion one question and I'll get a feeling whether it's good, bad, or nothing. So, the question that
why-
I asked,
Yeah.
I asked if it was favorable to leave now to go to the Cursed Lands, and I got the distinct feeling of no. If you have a different question, I could ask tomorrow.
Wouldn't it be favorable to leave? Would it ever be favorable to leave to a dangerous place? Wouldn't it always just say no?
Maybe, but hopefully he read between the lines.
Do girls do that?
Girls?
Gods. Do gods read between the lines? They don't. From what I make of gods, they don't really do that. They're pretty.
Gods can be quite literal.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
So do you have a better way to form the question?
Oh,
Mr. Smarty Pants.
well, maybe. I just need a little time to think about it.
You got 5 minutes!
You can see Jash kind of look around hastily. Yeah, well, I mean, when are you able to make the next connection?
In the morning.
Okay, so okay.
Exactly 24 hours from now.
Well, maybe that'll give me enough time to formulate something that maybe possibly you could use to talk to him again.
Alright. Well, you're the smartest one here, and I'm gonna look at Physic and shake my head.
Kind of look kind of confused, like, wait. Oh.
All right. Well, Ned has gotten up and is already.
Fizzle, is it breakfast time?
I'm sure it is in some world. Okay, come on.
Go get Rush. Let's go outside.
Yeah, I'm gonna walk out with young Ned here and.
All right. Well, you can see people walking around eating, eating breakfast, whatever it is. So it's not hard to acquire such a thing, as Ned very quickly finds his way over to the campfire and basically starts eating a breakfast, which appears to be some kind of stuffed leaves.
Okay.
They're leaves that are kind of wrapped around some
Greek
kind
food.
of paste, and they're eating them. Like a stuffed grape leaf type stuff, I suppose. Something along those lines.
Yes.
Clearly they're Greek.
You're so hungry.
So hungry, God.
Okay.
So, most people
An
eat
interesting
3 or
choice of
4
breakfast, yeah.
them.
Ned eats like 20.
Yeah. And Ned begins to consume them one after the other. Strange enough, they really don't seem to mind the fact that he is eating that much food. They're quite content to just keep stuffing it in his hands, so he continues to wolf them down.
Oh, they are cannibals.
Fattening Ned out ready for the eating. For the feasting in 2 weeks' time. So, alright, yeah. So do you guys have anything meaningful you want to do today, or you want to just spend the day and hope that tomorrow Tritherion gives you a better answer?
Yeah,
In the interest of not wasting too much airtime.
I would say I'd probably just float around seeing anywhere that needs a druid's help, if I can provide it.
Alright. Okay. Yeah, I mean, if you want to help, there are a few people, when they come back from hunting, a few of them have got some scratches, bruises, cuts, grazes. They are actually bringing what appears to be a small dire boar into town this morning. So, about mid-afternoon, I should say, by the time they come back. So you've all got dire boar to eat tonight. Piggy!
Dang.
It's quite tasty once you can cut through the thick hide and avoid avoid all the spines.
It might be worth it to just go along on one of these tracking missions and figure out how they do it, because, man, they're turning out food like it's nothing.
It's true.
But yep, so they brought that back in. So yeah, if you want to help like patch up any of their wounds, cuts and grazes, that would go down well. If you want to help
I'll
try
do
to
that.
skin the dire boar, you can do that too.
Sure, yeah. I'll be helpful.
All right, so you basically get right down into village life and begin to do all the things that you're accustomed to, embracing nature and whatnot. Everybody other than that, you can just spend your time either resting, sleeping, wandering the town or the village, should I say, whatever you want to do. Probably eventually about late morning, Rush's newfound friend comes out of the tent, looking somewhat haggard. And then,
Good morning. Everyone slept
what a
well?
wonderful day it is!
Did you take cure disease?
What?
How'd you get it?
You should have asked her that. You should have asked her if she needs to cure disease. Okay.
Cure the wound.
Grade A.
So Rush seems to be in very good spirits this morning. You all get your breakfast. So yeah, if you're not going to do anything particularly important, then you can spend an entire day enjoying village life, and can take another crack at talking to Tritherion in the morning, if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, I think Jesh and Physica and Rush and I and Dallas would all try to figure out what phrase to do for the next morning.
All right. Well, that is probably an appropriate time to wrap things up. It's not a
Yay!
good cliffhanger, but you know what? It's a nice, neat place to end it tonight, and that's what we'll do. Well met. I'm Gorbad, the Dungeon Master here on How We Roll, as well as the author of thedmsblog.com, where you can find lots of fun and interesting articles for both Dungeon Masters and players alike. If you'd like to keep up with the show, follow us on Twitter at HowWeRoll. Check out our website, www.howweroll.com. And for our past campaigns and for some fun bonus content, follow us on YouTube at, you've guessed it, How We Roll. We hope to see you all again real soon. Cheers, guys.
Oh, hey, it's me, Satchmo. I play Physic here on How Reroll. Like, I got 2 more of these to take care of, so I'm gonna cut it short. But if you want to follow me anywhere, say Twitch or Twitter, it's just Satchmo, and Satchmo just about everywhere. I'm glad you joined us tonight. I hope you come back again sometime. It stinks.
Hey everybody, Shagget here. I play a character on How We Roll. I'm not going to tell you who I play because if they die, I'm going to have to redo it. I've already done it once, never again. Follow me on Twitter at aneb_convos, and I'll see you guys on How We Roll.
And that's how air works. What a good story. And I also hope you enjoyed today's story on How We Roll. I'm Jane and I played. If you want to follow me on social media, I do have a Twitter and it is Jane on Twitch with a 0, not no. That's all I have to say, so peace suckers, bye!
Roll the clip. Hello everyone, I play Jash Windstriker, a level 5 human fighter. And I really like playing him because he does really cool stuff all the time. And there you have it. You guys can follow me on Twitter at MattySweetTweet. And thank you so much for watching every Monday and Thursday. You guys are the best. I'm having a fantastic time on How We Roll so far, even though my character first ever got killed off. No big deal. No problem. We'll see you guys next time.
Hey guys, I am the Dragon Spooker, and for you and How We Roll this time, I'm playing Rush Brinkery, the Nomian engineering sorcerer. If you don't get enough with me on the show, then you can follow me on Twitter at Dragon Spooker. You can also check out my channel, which I should be streaming more in here in the future with my new rig this year, at twitch.tv/thedragonspooker. I'll see you next episode.